Welcome back to CCRPG. We are returning to our pilots in the midst of heated action. We saw our pilots storming what they had come to know as Security Room Chalmers, which is one of the two security rooms they will need to take if they wish to access the deeper security areas within the station. As they approached, they encountered a fair amount of resistance from emplaced and remote turrets, but also from what seemingly was a piece of technology geared to interfere with technology that the party was carrying. Some of it zapping COMET through his cybernetics, some of it activating the gravity clamps in CHIMERA's bag, some of it trying to access KESTRAL's data plating, and even prematurely detonating Orion's thermite charge. After gaining entrance to the room by chucking a grenade inside at who they believed to be in charge and threatening them through the door, the party ended the last session as we walked through the door. And now I will tell you what you see there. As the door opens, the four of you sweep in, weapons raised, ready for a fight. No one in here seems ready for a fight. In fact, most people are wearing overalls, not overalls, coveralls is what I'm looking for. Coveralls, kind of like tucked into corners. There's one person who is like at the door, right next to you. Like he's probably the person who pressed like the door open button, which you see is like right next to you. He like backs away with his hands up, like pressing his back against the wall. All along one side of the room, there are security cameras and monitoring. Like, not all of them are cameras, but they're all screens. Some of them showing like layouts of the station and like locations of things through the station that they're monitoring. The other side of the room also had this, but now a large section of it is destroyed by what seems to be a frag grenade explosion.
Who did that?
Yeah, you gotta wonder. In the midst of that appears to be a custom station that was set up in this security room that has a bunch of like unique hardware and like a special seat that is like designed to like lean back and has like screens attached to it and stuff. That is blown to shit. And there is a body like 2 feet away from it that is smoking.
Who did
and
that?
Covered with blood. Everyone else in this room is wearing coveralls and is like backed against the wall or huddled down on the floor, like in corners and against walls. What do you do?
I enter the room.
You do at that.
Yeah, I'll say, okay, everyone, we just need your cooperation.
And your lives. No, wait.
Can anyone help us turn off these turrets, these death machines that are traveling around the tracks?
They all look around at each other quizzically. None of them like volunteering anything. They all just look at each other. There's maybe like 12 people in here. One of them, like, noticing you're like lingering on him a little bit longer than the others, just for a second, he like cautiously points at the dead guy on the ground. Or who you assume to be a dead guy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but like no one's crying over it. They all don't seem too sad. He was kind of a jerk, right? In my headcanon. He deserved it.
Yeah, he's kind of like a bad boss, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. He made him work overtime.
Yeah, like that wasn't cool.
Really? I saved them.
Murderable
them
offense.
on the weekends.
He asked them to file like corrected TPS reports.
Oh my god!
They're
gonna call me the savior.
I hate this guy. Yeah.
I've never even met him, and I hate him.
He's one of 3 bosses they had to file those reports to.
Is he wearing like a 2-tone 80s style button-down shirt?
No, the furthest thing from it, actually.
Oh.
I'll say,
yeah.
I'll say, okay, then what do you all do? What's your responsibilities?
They all, no one wants to speak up. They all look around at each other, waiting for someone else to talk.
I'll fire my gun at the ceiling. Say,
the person closest to me. Yeah, the person closest to you who opened the door for you goes, ah! And like falls into the ground.
Astro, what the hell?
I'll say, one of you better start talking because we don't have a lot of time.
Oh boy, here comes bad cop.
One of the people who's just the person closest to you, so probably feels the most in danger, just goes, we just assembled here because this was the rally point. That's all.
So you don't
do
work
these guys have like the machinery that makes the severance thing on their necks? What are they?
They do not. They do not have tethers.
Oh,
tethers.
Yeah,
that's what segmentation tethers. That's what. It was.
They do not have segmentation tethers.
I'll say you don't work in security. You just met up here, rendezvoused here.
The guy who was talking says, I'm a construction worker. I was working like 2 hallways over on finishing a room, and then crazy stuff started happening. One of the people nearby goes, I mean, I'm going to be in security, but my orientation isn't for another week.
Good enough.
I'll say, why didn't you go into the Citadel with everyone else?
The original person who talked speaks up because, like, well, this was the closest entry. The other place we could get into was already closed by the time things shut down and locked down, but they were still letting people in here.
Okay.
I mean, he was, at least. He like nods his head over towards the guy on the ground.
I'll point to the person who was waiting on her security orientation and say, help me disable the security measures.
I don't know how.
She hasn't had orientation yet.
You must know some things.
Before this, I was literally in a classroom where they were telling us about the vision of the company.
Actually, what is the vision of the company? What are they telling you guys?
She's about to answer, but then as you start talking, she just cuts off. She just waits.
Time for that. Come on.
I immediately like punch.
What are your core values?
No. I am legitimately curious to see what are they telling these people, because like they're literally building a military.
A better future through advanced and improved cognition and the replacement of unworthy cogs in the system with superior thinking technology.
Yeah, you're helping build a war. We're trying to stop that.
I mean, isn't everyone always?
Oh, you poor deluded soul. I just kind of put my hand in my face.
I'll say, well, I need to take a look at your computer systems here. And I'll pull up a chair to one of the terminals that's not destroyed. And I'll start poking around in there.
As you go to sit down, you hear out of the corner of the room a very faint cough.
I'll turn around to look at who's coughing.
It is the body on the ground.
Oh. Dyne, that guy's still alive. You think you can help him?
I look over and I go, if I have to,
He could.
I'll go over.
He could help us gain access to the security system.
We'll see. I'll go over and assess his condition.
He's really fucked up. Shrapnel has gone through his body in various places. He's bleeding very badly. As you turn him over to get a better look at his wounds, he has like a variety of cybernetics plugged into his head that create like a visor in front of his eyes to the point where you really can't see his eyes. It almost creates like an obscuring effect across the front of his face. It's almost like they replaced where his eyes are with a bar that goes across the front of his face that's like wedged into his face.
So he's Geordie LaForge.
Kind of like that, but imagine if it looked more like a glow stick than like a filtered visor, right?
Yeah.
And he's wearing like a big long leather duster, basically. He has on underneath like a black t-shirt that has what Dyne you would recognize as like a band t-shirt that's for some heavy metal band. You can't read it because it's written in one of those fonts that heavy metal bands use that make it completely unreadable. And he has on black khaki pants that have spiked studs all over them.
I feel like this guy might be Ruination Conditioning's like cousin or something.
Yeah, honestly.
I go,
So
well,
he looks pretty bad.
I can say he got hit by a grenade. He's not looking great. I'm not really sure there's much I can do to stabilize him and get him to help us quickly. I mean, can I run a patch check to see if I would be able to?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. A 4.
You would have to just get started and find out. You don't know how long it would take, but you could start administering aid, and you don't have a good estimate because like part of you going through the process will also be you discovering how long it's going to take you.
I relay that to Astro and I go, I don't know how long it's going to take me. Do you want me to start?
See what you can do while I try to gain access to their systems.
Okay, I will start while Astro is doing his thing.
Okay, I'll come back to you to make another check in a few moments.
Okay.
COMET, as you attempt to get into the security system, go ahead and give me a hack check. Because you are not an authorized user.
No, I'm not. Okay. 11.
11 is enough. You're able to, now that you're at kind of the seat of the security room, you have access to all the normal functions of this room, including stopping those arms. So the arms that were coming in your direction to continue the security kind of assault on you, you were able to stop them. You were able to put them back into hibernation, basically.
Yep.
It seems like each one of these security rooms controls 1/6 of the outer part of the space station. So from this security station, you can control the security settings for 1/6 of the pie wedge of the outer part of the station, including the areas that you took to get here.
Got it. Yeah.
Now, where those pie slices overlap with each other, that's where the security doors are that go deeper into the central citadel of the station. That's why you would need to be at both stations at once in order to open one.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you can see you have access to that system, but without someone to approve it on the other end, it just won't do anything for you.
Yeah. Can I contact other security systems?
You absolutely can.
I don't yet, but I'll say, I've gained access to their system. I can do what I need to do to open the door from here, but like we like we discovered earlier, there needs to be someone at the other security system to authorize that. I could talk to them. I could contact them and tell them we have a hostage and they need to play along.
How difficult is it to work it? Like, would we need Evelene or yourself to do it, or would I be able to? Or Dyne?
Do I think? Well, so I had to do some sort of hacking to gain access since I was not. I don't think it's that hard once you have access. It's gaining access that requires the hacking. Am I right in saying that, Bob?
I will give you the pure mechanics of it. You must have at least one rank in Hacker Fix in order to activate it, but it does not require a check once you have access.
Okay.
It's just in order to implement the thing COMET would need to give you in order to do it, you would need to have at least one rank of Hacker Fix.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Evelene could do it.
Well, we need someone to stay here anyways with all these people.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
I assume we don't want to just kill them, so...
One of the people nearby goes, and then like gasps loudly and then holds their hands up in front of their face like they're trying to stop themselves.
Well, I mean, if they don't do anything, then we don't need to, right?
That's right.
Ideally, we should avoid killing people if we can do it.
Well, you avoid it then, I guess. We got to get to the other station, right?
Yeah, I've shut down those turrets. Well, at least the turrets that I have access to. As you make your way to the other station, you might run into tracks that station controls. So you still might need to deal with them on that end.
Orion, as you are attending to this man and you hear them talking, he very hoarsely, very quietly, in response to what COMET says, just like painfully laughs to himself.
I look at him and I go, something funny?
You'll never be able to hold this point now that the door is open. I called for reinforcements.
Fantastic.
What door? What door is open?
The door to the probably the security station, right?
Oh, just the security station door. I'll say well, shit. maybe I can turn these turrets against the reinforcements.
True.
I can change who's good and who's bad.
So you're going to have to stay here and do that. Someone should probably stay with you, right?
I think you all need to go together. In order to make sure you secure the other station. I could probably hold them off with the turrets long enough that we can get the doors open.
That might make the most sense, if only because you're pretty bad off too, right, Astro?
I am.
So
Yeah,
we're probably gonna have to do
good.
we're probably gonna have to do a repeat of what we just did at the next station. I think Astro might be better off here.
How are we going to repeat that, by the way? Because we don't have any thermite or grenades anymore.
Oh, right. That is a problem.
I would like Orion to make me a patch check, please. For this is now the tending step.
An 8.
This man does not have long. You've gotten him to consciousness, but there is no saving him. He will die in the next, 10 minutes.
Cool. I've done such a good job as a doctor. Then again, he did get hit point blank by a grenade. So...
A grenade blew up on him, yes.
I
The
mean, you're a
fact that there's
doctor.
enough of him to talk is a lot, actually. If you here's the thing I'll say, Orion, it's not due to lack of skill. If you could get this guy into a real OR and like have an assistant, you think you could save him.
Yeah.
On the
It's just the
floor without your
circumstances.
gear, without someone to help, there's no way.
Yeah.
You're
But
you're
yeah,
you're. Sorry, go ahead.
that's a good point. How do we get into the other security station? It's hard enough getting to this one, and that's with our explosives. I could call them and ask them nicely to hand over the security station to us.
Is anyone like about the size of the guy wearing the duster?
Yeah, probably. Probably at least 2 or 3 of them. He's an average sized man.
Do you think if we came in this guy's duster and kind of disguised as him?
Oh, you mean
I like
amongst
these
you
shenanigans.
pilots? Oh, okay, I get you. I thought you meant one of the
Well-
civilians. Okay.
Well, yeah, amongst us pilots, but also the civilians could go with us all together as a group, and it'd put a lot more, believability and hideability on it. And then once we have someone in there, you guys get Trojan horse it? No?
Yeah, that's not. I like it. I like the idea. It's shenanigans, which I enjoy.
Because he had a hat on, right? Did you describe
Yes.
a hat? I don't remember.
Did he have a hat? No, he doesn't have a hat. He just has that weird face visor that's like built into his face.
That's what it was. So it covers
that-
his face.
It covers one ear. It covers both ears, and then there's a line between the two that
Mhm.
goes across where his eyes are, or should be.
Just saying there's like less immediate face recognition from people.
Is the visor something that can be removed?
It is part of his face.
Oh, damn it.
It is cybernetics in the same way that Astro's arm is.
Okay.
Like the visor bit of it is like a glow stick that is sunken into his skin where his eyes should be.
Oh, okay. Like the guys from Cyberpunk kind of thing, right?
It would make sense, yeah. The person on the ground, Orion goes, I can't believe a bunch of idiots without a plan took me down.
We have a plan. We're just working out the finer details in real time. Suppose how about this? We call the other security station. We say, open it up to us or else, and then we call our rebels to fire a broadside onto the station, just to show that we're serious and we have the manpower.
Do you think they'd be able to do that with the current situation outside?
I assume they're not available.
I wouldn't assume anything.
Okay.
We could call and see.
You can check. Yeah.
I'll open up my Omni hook. And do I have a point of contact, or should I call that guy, the nameless guy that called me before?
I mean, you have his signal frequency.
Do I have a better? I guess do I have a better like point of contact?
You
besides-
could contact Jessica.
I will contact Jessica.
Okay.
And I'll say, hey, Jessica, how are things looking out there?
I mean, so far they seem okay. We fought off what appeared to be a fast response team. I didn't have to get the DBC too involved. It would be hard with just me and this guy here. But the rebels fought them off admirably, took minimal losses.
And what are they doing right this moment?
It looks like they are prepping for something. I think we've got intel that more waves are incoming.
Okay, thanks. Well, it sounds like maybe we've got them in a lull. They should be able to do this. People on the station, they don't need to know that that the corpos are sending ships over here. They just need to be scared enough to hand over the station. I'll call that guy that called me, the unnamed rebel guy.
You open up the frequency. Hey-o.
Yeah. Hey, hey there, buddy. What's your name again?
Werner.
Warner. Can you do me a solid?
Yeah, maybe, bud. What's up?
I need you to fire on the station when I give you the signal. Need to strike a little fear into the hearts of the people here as a negotiation tactic.
Sure, I guess I can do that.
Could you aim for something that is relatively non-critical? We don't actually want to blow the station to smithereens.
Sure. Yeah, I could probably pull that off. Yeah, I could do that.
Great. But make sure we can really feel it.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, so I'll send you a signal through my Omni hook. Wait for my signal and let her rip.
All right, you got it.
Thanks, Warner.
Yeah, no
You
problem,
and
bud.
We're going to be fast pals.
Sure, buddy.
I'll end the connection. I'll say, all right, here goes. And then I'll call the other security station from the terminal.
Just had a weird thought of like Werner getting off the phone. The guy next to him's like, "Who's that?" And Werner's like, "I don't know. I wasn't paying attention."
There's a non-zero chance that's exactly what happened.
I could see that happening.
You open a channel to the other security station.
Yeah.
It is
From
currently silent. What do you do?
I'll say, whoever is manning the station, come in. I have a proposal.
Identify.
All you need to know is that we're the assholes that are causing you all this trouble on the station. Are you in charge of?
Target acknowledged.
I'll say, who is this?
Asset 7.
Is this do I think this is a NHP or an AI?
Make me a cognitive check of some sort to evaluate.
Let me think.
It's probably read a situation.
Yeah, it would be, which I know you don't have. You can just make a pilot check to like feel it out.
Okay. 15.
Their cadence and what they focus on is too limited to be an NHP. NHPs are, some people joke, more cognitively advanced than some humans.
Yeah.
So no, this is something else. I would say there's a slow cognition going on here that there's not really like AI other than like these, like the kinds of things that Artemis are. There's not like humanoid AI in this setting. That doesn't exist. But like it almost comes across as like not automated, but like you can't shake the feeling that the thing responding to you is slow and deliberate and has limited access to reasoning.
Yeah.
But you can't identify it because you don't have an example but you know what it isn't from that check.
Right. Okay. Could it be someone who is cybernetically like limited, like
That is the
like
best
some sort of like
explanation you have. That is
cybernetic slave?
that is the
Yeah.
best explanation you have for this. Absolutely.
All right. I'll say, listen. I want to offer you a proposal. You approve that my request to open the Citadel door between us, and I don't destroy your station. What do you think of that?
Request unacceptable. Denied.
I figured you'd think so. So let me just show you that I'm serious. And then I'll send the signal to Warner to fire on the station.
As you send the signal, all of you feel the entire station rock as somewhere else in the station, a large piece of it assumingly gets destroyed.
I'll come back on the comm and I'll say, that was us. I can have him do much worse, but it doesn't have to go this way. Why don't you just let us into the Citadel? And we don't blow up your station.
Under siege. Target acknowledged. Threats denied.
This is not how I was hoping this negotiation would go.
Can you convince them that the station isn't under siege anymore?
Like maybe, but they still won't open the door for us. This might make it easier for you to take over if they just have some like robot, mindless robot man manning the station. I'll say if you let us in, we'll send our entire fleet away and stop our siege of the station.
Falsehood likely. Cannot accept without approval of a higher order.
Your choice is either to accept the risk of the falsehood or see your station get destroyed. And I'll send another signal to Warner. We didn't discuss the second one, but let's see how he reacts.
It takes like 4 seconds. You think for a moment that nothing's going to happen, and then an unexpected explosion happens somewhere.
Yeah. So either we destroy the station now, or your best chance for survival is letting us through. And in all likelihood, we'll be captured at the end of all of this.
Survival is not a motivating order.
Survival of the station is, though, isn't it?
Must complete orders specific to commanding officer.
Who is your commanding officer?
Commander Rahu Attain is the commander of this station.
And where are they?
Commander Rahu Attain's last known location was in the commander's quarters.
Do you have contact with Commander Rahu
No.
Attain? He clicks off the comm.
No, he just says no. That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah, he clicks off the comm and he's like negotiating with a brick wall.
I know you were angling to try and get a check in there, but I'm sorry. This person is immune to
He
doing
can't.
anything outside what it's been told to do.
Yeah. Well, shit, that was my idea. I
Just
didn't
like-
know they
Mine's
had
not
a
going to work now. We
robot.
Just out of curiosity, does the guy that got hit with the grenade, does he have like an ID badge or something on him?
No, he does not.
Okay.
In fact, he does not even have anything associated him with unfolding Moravec on him at all.
Okay.
He doesn't
just
have
wanna-
he doesn't have an employee badge. He doesn't have like special things on him. He doesn't have a uniform. He doesn't have anything on him that associates him with the group hold this station.
Okay. I was worried that he might be the captain.
Well, we have the name of his commander, and that he's. We could try to find the commander, I guess. Can I on the security system, does this security system have any sort of like people locator?
Yeah,
built
you
into
can not really. You can't see into the secure areas. You can see like the exterior, the wedge of the station you have control over. You can see basically,
Yeah.
but you can see the layout for the whole station. You just can only see the detailed stuff for your section.
Got it.
But it is enough to note that the commander's quarters are within the central citadel area.
Okay.
It's behind the security layer.
Okay. I'll turn the communicator back on and say, what if you require clarification on your orders? What if you encounter an edge case where you need your commander to step in and make a decision? How do you contact them?
Inertial orders require that I follow orders or choose not to act until the acceptance of new orders.
Okay. You're not very easy to negotiate with,
I and then the thing cuts off.
All right. Well,
Something odd entered. Something almost like an emotion entered its voice at the end there, and it caught you
Yeah.
off guard.
interesting. Seemed like for a second they maybe became aware of its individuality and it freaked it out.
Keep freaking it.
I'll try to open up again and I'll say, "Hey, are you still there? What happened?"
It now will not accept connections. They have cut you off. They're no longer accepting connections from this station.
Astro just throws up his hands and says, "They're just rejecting anything that comes through. I can't make a connection with them."
Bless you.
If I understand this correctly, there's a different security station we'd be connected to, right?
Say that again.
There'd be two different security stations, one like on either side, because it makes like a circle, right, around the Citadel?
It
Oh,
does
yeah,
make a
is there-
circle, yes. But there are only 3 gates that enter the center. So imagine it's like a triangle, and each corner of the triangle has 2 security case stations that can open it.
Mm-hmm. So there's
So,
one other then.
There's one that's paired with your station. You
Oh.
could go take over 2 other stations for that door.
Oh, okay. So it's 2 stations per triangle, but those 2 stations aren't connected to the other set of stations.
That's correct. So
Okay.
each station has half control over a single door. So there are 3 doors and 6 stations. And you can actually see the layout on the screen now about where all those things are, because you're in one of the security stations.
Are there any armaments in the security station?
I mean, there is a back room that you can open up from here that, yes, does have some armaments in them. They are small arms personal weaponry.
Yeah. Okay. No
Is-
explosive ordnance, huh?
No.
Is there any like ventilation or seemingly connections between the station and the other?
Oh no, there is actually, it almost seems like when you're looking at the layout, an attempt to make it difficult to get from one place to another. The inside of this fortress is built like a fortress. Like getting from here to the other security station around forces you to go around in a bunch of different ways to get there.
Looking at the layout of the wedge we're in,
Yep.
is there a armory?
I'm gonna go roll a die real quick. Yes.
Okay. I'll say, well, here's one thing. There's an armory here, and he points at a map. We could try to break into it. Maybe they have explosive ordnance we can use to get through the other door of the other security system.
I will note an interesting thing, because you have the technical schematics for the station now. There do not appear to be active mobile turrets around the other station.
Huh.
They are all powered down and have not been powered on this whole time. You can see the logs.
Yeah, I'll point that out too. That I'll say also what's interesting is the other station, all the turrets are powered down. I'll investigate a little further. Is power, are other things powered down in that, like
Some things.
around that station?
Yeah, there are some things that are lacking power in that section.
Something might be going on in the section.
Dude,
Who knows? Maybe the
okay.
door's open.
There is clearly a skeleton crew, and I think skeleton crew is being generous here right now. I just don't think that they were prepared for this. No one's there to man it except for this cybernetic person that you talk to, and they don't seemingly, well, they don't seem like they're all there.
Yeah.
So maybe they never received any actual orders, or are just on set defense mode. But they don't know what he's even attacking.
Interesting.
Um,
Do you think we could just rush him? I mean, there's still the door situation, but
if the power's off, maybe the door is open.
the only thing is there has to be some sort of power, or there'd be no value in the security station.
Their security station has power, but other things in that section are powered down. And the transit stuff in that section is not hooked up yet. And also it appears the wall tracks and the mobile turrets have never been powered on.
I just think it's unfinished.
Yeah. So I think we just have to go to the other security station, figure out a way in somehow. Because and if we can't come up with anything, then maybe we just leave. But this is our last chance of getting inside the Citadel area. Do you think that guy was bluffing about reinforcements? What reinforcements?
He probably means the mobile thing arms.
Well, I've already turned those off.
I don't think he knew that.
Yeah.
But even so, we can't just leave these people here now, right?
I think maybe we just let them go. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you should totally let us go. We'll just go hide.
Yeah, you won't tell anyone we're here?
Who would we tell? We can't get in
That's
anymore.
what I'd like to know. Are you sure there's no way of contacting someone who's inside the core?
They point at the dead guy who's now fully dead. They go, he's the only one who knew how to work any of this. We're all new hires or construction workers.
And what was the deal with that guy on the other line? Have you met anyone like that? Like a cybernetic robot?
A cybernetic robot? What?
Just the guy I was talking to was almost like I was speaking to a computer.
I mean,
He had very limited cognitive functions, and he only knew how to obey his orders.
one of the construction workers goes, "Oh, I never met anyone like that." And one of the trainees goes, "Well, weren't any of my classes if there was someone like that."
What was that guy like? I point to the dead guy.
The security trainee goes, "Oh, he was so mean. He yelled at us. He said we were all worthless cowards. He told us not to touch any of the machinery, or he'd kill us, or he'd activate the people in the walls." He said,
People on the walls.
Hey, thanks, Bob. You didn't need to do that, and I really appreciate it.
Wow, so he was a piece of shit. Thank goodness we killed him.
When you say activate the people on the walls, do you mean those turrets on the track?
She just shrugs at you. I don't know. He was real mean.
Huh. Okay.
Does
When
kind
we
of
tried
remind
to-
me of ruination conditioning with his wardrobe choice.
Yeah.
When we tried to talk to him, he said that he'd be reporting us to his contract boss, and that he'd try to get us fired.
For talking to him?
Basically, we started to ask him questions, and then he said that we were better off cowering in a corner than screwing things up. And he said that he wanted to know all of our names and that he would report us to our bosses to be fired.
Sounds like we did you guys a favor.
One of the construction workers shrugs and goes, "Yeah, he was kind of a dick."
All right.
Yeah, maybe we just go.
Let's find the armory. Maybe we could get something that can help blow the doors open of the other security station. I mean, I could probably just come with you and come back. I don't think anything's happening here.
I will note, you do have to activate both terminals at the same time. There will have to be someone in place at both terminals when you activate them. So if you leave and then coming back is difficult, that's on you. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's the chance you're taking by all of you going.
I mean, all it takes is one guy to lock the doors, so
I think it's best that you stay here and activate those people in the walls if you need to. And the rest of us go and check the other security door and see what's even going on there first before we take time to get into their armory.
Okay, that sounds good. As for the rest of you, I'll look at Steve. You cool with just letting them go?
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. You usually have opinions on hostages.
Well, they don't really offer any use, I suppose. But letting them go is a liability. Still, it's up to you. And they also don't seem to know what's going on either, so... Yeah,
all right.
It's probably fine.
I'll say the rest of them. All right, you guys can go. Go find
Thank
somewhere to
you. Thank
hide.
you. They all start like filing out of the room. Thank you. Thank you. They all leave.
Check out my movies.
One of
No
them
one wants
looks
an
at you
autograph?
for like a few seconds longer than everyone else, cocks their head, looks at you real close, and then shakes their head and then leaves.
Like, no, it couldn't be.
Couldn't be.
That's
Couldn't be.
silly.
Bob, did you roll the dice for every single character in that room?
No, but I could.
I love
Please
the
don't.
idea of like being in a hostage situation and like one of the guys pulls his ski mask off and it's just Nicolas Cage.
That last guy turns back around, comes back in the room, and goes, "Listen, I know this is going to sound insane, but can you sign my badge?" And he holds out his employee badge to you, Astro.
Astro's
oh my
like,
god.
insane. Of course, I would love to.
Do you sign it, Xander Nova?
He takes out a special pen you guys never seen before. It's like very, very fancy looking. It's his autograph pen. And he signs it in big swooping letters. And no, he signs it Astro Jamin.
He takes it from you. He looks at it. He looks up at you. He goes, "I knew it. My brother's never going to believe this." And then he runs out after everyone else.
He just calls after him. Always great to meet a fan.
For the audience, I rolled 12 D100s, and one of them was 100. When that happens, someone asks him for his autograph.
Yes. I love it.
So this is the
That's
point
the
where
first autograph he's gotten.
So this is the point where the narrator comes in and says, Astro would come to regret that decision as it would prove that he was at the station, not Xander Nova.
Wow. Yeah. We might have burned that bridge already, though.
Yeah, true.
All right. I'll stay behind then. And I'll see what else I can find out here, too.
All right.
Including-
So are the other three of you heading to security room Tigmark?
Sure.
Yep.
Tigmark?
Tigmark.
Okay.
There are security room Chalmers and security room Tigmark.
How did you pick these names?
Good
I have
question.
a feeling there's a story behind it.
There always is. He doesn't pick up names without a reason.
There's
we just
a
don't know what
theme.
that is most of the time. We do catch on some of them, though.
Sometimes they're super obscure. You would have had to have been in the room with me when it happened to know some of them, is what I will say. But yeah, so do the other three of you head towards Tigmark then, including you, Steve?
Is Tononi one of them?
Tononi? I don't think so. No, it is not.
Julio Tononi. Okay. Yes, I'm going to the other station too.
How's Tigmark spelled?
Tegmark.
Okay, I think I found the connection, but it's
Oh, yeah?
because I had to Google it, not because I
Same.
would have known.
What do you think it is?
There seem to be Max Tegmark and David Chalmers are both prominent figures in the field of consciousness studies.
You actually figured it out.
Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got too.
Tigmark
Yeah,
These
exploring
guys,
That's what they're all
consciousness.
related to. Yep.
they
It's
did
because
something on YouTube with someone named Tononi.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So, because you guessed it correctly, I'll tell you it also has to do with the name of their megacorp.
Oh, sure.
Makes sense.
You know what's also funny? I searched Tigmark, but I spelled it differently. Tigmark. It's a game where you have to dodge enemies and turrets.
Oh, that's funny.
That's incredible.
That's great. Yeah, that's the game we've been playing.
It is? All right. Well, COMET, as you dig in to start, seeing what you have access to in the station, we're going to follow the other three as they book it to the other security room. As the three of you make your way through the station, what is the marching order here? How do Evelene, Steve, and Dyne move?
Hey, before I forget, I do put my heart suit back on with and get all my gear back.
Oh, yeah. You can grab your gear back off the wall. It's annoying. You have to disengage the mag locks on all of the you have to reach into the bag and find the switch and disengage the mag lock because it's magnetized through the bag and stuff, but you can get it.
Okay. Yeah, I want to make sure I don't get called out on that later. That's all. I assume we have a map to work off of in terms of getting there.
Yeah, COMET would have been able to provide that to you.
Okay. I can take lead, I guess. I'll grab the map from COMET.
Sure.
I'll take rear like I did before and continue to watch for. I know he said there are no turrets, but Dyne's just kind of I'm gonna keep on watching.
Yeah, and you make it closer and closer and closer to the security room with no intervention whatsoever that you can tell.
That's good, I think.
And we're gonna lie and tell Astro it was way harder to get to this one.
100%.
We had to fight lions and tigers and turrets. Oh my!
As you get to a few hallways away from where the security room take mark is, are you trying to go as fast as you can, or are you taking it slow, even though knowing there are waves coming in? You can either take it slow and be safe, or assuming your safety, you can get there quicker because the people outside are defending. Those are your two options.
I lean towards quick.
I lean towards quick as well.
Ditto.
All right. As you guys bust a move towards the security room, you make it within just a few rooms. And as you round a corner, you see in front of you 3 people standing suspiciously still, all turn and look at you, aim weapons, and start firing down the hallway. I'm going to need reaction pilot checks from all 3 of you. You made excellent time, though.
Well, that's great. I'll go get somewhere quickly to dodge back out of the way.
Totally.
13.
You're good. Chimera and Orion.
I feel bad relying on stay cool so much this session, but I don't have anything else.
Go ahead and roll it.
14.
All right, you're good too. Orion.
I'm gonna see if I see I'm gonna go with spot, hoping that I saw them in time to avoid getting shot at.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Nope.
Orion. So you
5.
did not see them in time. You dodge out of the way, but you do catch a glimpse of them as you dive to one side. This is going to be 2 pilot damage.
So down to 1, unless it's armor piercing.
It is not. It is not armor piercing. As you dive to the side, the other 2 of you duck behind a corner before the incoming bullets. Orion, though you did not get out of the way in time, you caught a glint of metal on the back of all of their necks.
Oh, good. I mentioned to Chimera and Steve, well, they've got some shiny metal attachments to the back of their neck. Want to guess what it is?
The tethers?
Probably.
Great.
I go, I've got 1 grenade left. Think it's use it? Want to use it here?
Might as well. I don't see any other way to deal with them at the moment.
Other than just being in a firefight. Go ahead. When you get to the when you use the grenade, I will get in position to then fire as well.
Okay. Then what I'm going to suggest is this is going to be a combined action. Choose one of the two of you to lead the action, and the other will add accuracy to it.
I will lay down suppressing fire to get them. Oh fuck, that's not going to work on these guys, is it? Maybe it will. I'll try. I'll try to get like suppressing fire out there.
Okay.
So he's giving me accuracy. Oh no! Oh, nice.
Yeah. No, you get accuracy on this.
Okay. All right. I think tossing a grenade requires both concentration, dexterity, and precision. So it's probably stay cool.
I'm cool with that.
11. Thank you for that accuracy.
You needed that accuracy. Nice. Yeah. Okay. You lay down some covering fire, Steve. In fact, you even clip them a bit and kind of like force them to be a little bit more defensive. That's when Orion's grenade sails through the air and takes out all three of them. They are blown free by the force of the grenade into various walls and hallways. All of them crash with quite a bang, and one of them slumps to the ground, like riddled with like bloody spots all over them. They are not standing back up, as far as you can tell.
All right. I'll start moving ahead down the hallway towards them.
Yeah. As you get closer, you can see that all of them are in outfits that do not look like the space station outfits that you saw the coveralls, the other people wearing. That is not what they look like. They're wearing a variety of different sets of clothing. But none of them move as you approach.
Have we seen any of those gateways that changed the mind of the segment tether folks?
No, you have not seen any since you've boarded the station.
Okay. Maybe they haven't set those up yet.
Or maybe they don't need them.
I mean, what's the point then?
We don't need any of these people.
No,
right?
We don't.
Okay.
No,
right.
we can just leave.
I'm gonna go through and make sure that they're dead. Then
you check each one of them. All of them are
more like a shot in each one of them.
Oh, sure. You clean up. Clean up. They're not getting back up.
Okay.
Totally.
Then double tap. Exactly. Was that rule number 1? Let's
probably
let's
was.
see if we can open the door.
All right. You approach the security room door. It is closed. There are 2 turrets out front of it that are not active. There are 3 black domes in the ceiling that don't seem to do anything, but the door is closed.
Is it locked?
I mean, it doesn't open for you as you approach it.
Oh, these were automatic doors?
No, I mean, the last door opened because someone from the inside opened it for you.
Okay.
And there's there's a comms panel on the wall that you just passed because there was at the other security station. So you can use a comms panel to communicate with the people inside. Do you knock?
I suppose the comms panel would probably be better. I'll knock first. I'm already at the door.
Yeah, you get no response, unfortunately.
All right. What are you gonna do?
It's worth a shot.
Who wants to talk to the robot?
Not it.
Not it.
So wait, did any of those segmentation guards have grenades or anything?
No, they did not.
Okay. Darn.
I guess I'll talk to the robot as Dyne walks up to the communication panel.
All right, you press the button. You have an open line.
Hello? Will you let us in?
No.
Why?
Because you are not authorized to be in this room.
And how would I go about getting authorization?
You would need to be authorized by security personnel.
Okay. I look at the other 2 and I go, I'm not going to get through to this guy.
All right.
What do you have access to security's current information?
No.
Then how do you know that we're not authorized?
If you have no way to give us your authorization, we have to assume you don't have it. The law of inertia demands that we do not change orders through lack of information.
No, but this is an emergency situation, you can attest?
There is an emergency.
And in times of emergencies, concessions must be made. We do have access. You don't have access to access it. So allow us in for us to prove it to you.
If you do not have a way to provide the access through the door, I cannot open the door.
Well, Evelene, you want to try to give them their company motto?
Sure. I assume we got it with the
It's I don't have it memorized, but it's something like better life through replacement of ineffective blah 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 with perfect machinic like electronic intelligences or something like that. I'd have to write it down. I don't have it in front of me. But it is bullshit.
Let's assume Evelyn said that or something similar. Be like, there you
I can come up with something snappier when I'm doing some, thought work with a pad. Yeah.
See, we've already gone through orientation.
I'll hold up one of the well, I can't say I picked up one of the training books when we were back in the interface. But if I did, I would lift it.
Company security protocols do specifically state that the life and safety of employees is of less importance than orders.
That does wonders for employee morale. How hard would it be to hack the door open? Honestly?
Good question. You have to go find out.
Impossible for me.
Let me try. Can I try? How hard would it be to force the door open, Bob?
I don't know. You'd have to try and find out.
Okay, I have a hacker fix roll. Can I use it?
Yeah. What's your way in? What do you do to the door to try and hack and fix it open?
No, I'm trying to figure out if it's possible. Like, I haven't done anything yet.
Exactly. So you have to come up with an idea, and then we have to say that idea is a hacker fix roll, and then that determines whether or not it works.
Okay. I mean, I'd like to disable the mechanism that holds the door closed.
That's exactly what you want to do. Okay, cool. So you're going to try and get into the mechanisms around the door to disable what holds the door closed.
Correct.
Absolutely. That's a hacker fix roll.
11.
Evelyn, you are quite easily able to break into the side of the door because no one's shooting at you. No turrets are firing on you. The weird black glass above your head isn't electrocuting you or activating magnetized things. Once you get up to the security door, it is just a tough security door, and you are able to break through it with that a successful roll. It does not open the door, but it disables the locks. What do you all do?
I mean, I'll take my melee weapon and just prop it, just to pry it open. And I'll just say, if a gunshot comes out, cover me.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So what are you all doing as Evelyn goes to open this door? I need to see what
training on the door, right? From a bit of the side, but mostly just looking in the door.
Dyne?
Yep, I'll be watching Evelyn, and if I feel she's in danger, I will try and intervene. I'll be specifically focusing on Spot.
Okay, but what action are you doing? Are you waiting to grab her? Are you aiming your weapon? Like, what's the thing we see Dyne doing while Evelyn is opening the door?
I'll be aiming to grab her if I feel that she's in danger, pull her out of the way.
Okay, got it. Okay. Well, that happens because as soon as Evelene opens the door, 7 people inside all start shooting at the open door. I'm going to need a pilot check from Dyne, please, to get Evelene out of the way.
10.
10. That is exactly what you need to drag Evelene down the length of the hallway with bullets ricocheting off the walls around you and throw yourselves around the corner. Now, you are ready for this, Steve, so let's go ahead and get a pilot check to see if you can trade fire with any of them.
11.
That's an assault. That's perfect. As you fire quickly into the opening, you know you've taken down one of them before you have to duck behind cover yourself, as 6 more tethered people inside continue to fire weapons into the opening you've left. The bullets stop eventually, but you know they're all trained on the door. A very familiar voice inside calls out, "You have opened the door. Lethal measures approved."
Kind of said that a little bit too late. All right, guys, I don't have a grenade for this situation.
Yeah, me either.
Nope.
Start shooting.
Yeah, I guess we just start shooting.
Okay, if you're going to trade fire 1 for 1, these are each going to be pilot checks that are considered dangerous.
Can I ask this before start? Based on how quickly was I able to get a quick glance at the security room to see if it looks similar to the other security room, like general layout?
Make a spot check.
5. Man, my spot checks.
Dyne, there's a reason you weren't able to tell. Because the second you looked in there, you saw something far more disturbing. Littering the ground around the tethered are dead employees, bled out on the ground, littering the floor of the security room.
Fantastic.
In that few seconds the door was open, all you saw were tethered with guns firing upon you and a score of dead.
I'll go, well, guys, he wasn't kidding when he said the orders take priority over lives. All the employees in there are dead.
Well, I feel less bad about shooting them now.
Okay. Plan
Also,
to eliminate them, proceed.
Also, my track record with tethered people has not been great, so I feel even less bad about this.
All right. If your plan is to trade off in fire back and forth with them, these are going to be dangerous pilot checks.
If we are farther down the hall, where are the bodies of the 3 other tethered?
They're like a hall back.
A hall back?
Yeah. You've rounded like 2 corners since then.
Okay. Can I go out of my way to grab one of them to use their body as a shield to kind of mitigate the danger?
You can try. Absolutely, you can try. So you go back, you grab one of the bodies of the tethered, and then by the time you get back, you heft them over one shoulder as a shield? Like, how do you plan to use this?
I kind of planned, I know it's going to be a penalty on my aim, but I kind of plan to put them kind of in front of me and try and make it so that more likely than not, they're going to hit the body instead of me as I try to give covering fire.
Okay. I like this. What I want to do, and this is my goal, is to increase the difficulty, but also decrease the likelihood of you getting hurt, but that's not how rolls work in this game. So I think the best way to do this would be I'm going to make it a quote unquote not dangerous check.
Okay.
But add difficulty to your roll.
Okay. That's kind of what I figured would happen. I was trying to lower it from a dangerous check, but still impose a challenge because I'm using one hand to hold up a body and the other hand is a gun.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. I think trying to fire a weapon while holding a body is probably a stay cool.
We can try it. Totally. I would accept this as a stay cool.
Okay.
You're under fire as you're firing. This is difficult.
I rolled a 1.
Ooh, that's rough.
Well, it's not exactly a 1. It was a 6 minus 5.
I know, but still.
So with a 1, what happens is you step out and you try to use this tethered to block some shots. They focus fire you down. You have to throw the body into the way, and then immediately you don't even get a single shot off. By the time you pull back, you're like, man, I got nothing done except throwing that body down the hallway.
I would like to read a situation to see if now would be a good time to put out and shoot while they're aiming at Dyne and his body.
Yeah, we can totally say that's what you were doing. Totally.
20.
With a 20, this was a dangerous check, but a 20 surpasses that. As you take the moment that the tethered is basically flying through the air, lean out of cover and just pew, pew, take out 2 of them. Before you have to duck back behind cover as the wall starts sparking again as bullets fly down the hallway.
Sure.
I have a proposal. Oh,
we're listening.
You have to give the proposal for us to be able to respond to it in some way.
Sorry, I was waiting for an action saying, "What is the proposal?" Bob reminded me that I had mag clamps. Yes, but also, Bob reminded me I had mag clamps.
You do?
I would like to basically punch up the voltage on one of them, or even both. Let's use the power from one for the other. So make it incredibly strong, and then just slide it down the hallway to pull the guns out of their hands.
The walls are metal. If it is, true. I'm just going to say, if you make the magnetism that strong, they will just attach to the wall.
Good point. That's what
they did.
Enough,
they
though,
did
it'll
that
still
to
pull
you.
The guns out of their hands, but you have to be really strong.
Okay, alternative. What if I just threw it down the hallway?
To what effect? What's your goal here? Name goal.
Get the mag clamp close to the tethered soldiers so that it starts pulling the guns out of their hands.
The hallway's not that wide. And it's all metal. So I want to know how the mag clamp is strong enough to pull guns out of people's hands who do not want to let go of the guns, but also make it to the end of the hallway without magnetizing to the walls. If you can explain that to me, I'm willing to let you make the roll.
No, that's a fair point. Okay, how about this then? Oh, this feels like very error prone, but I was going to say use the grapple gun to not make it as powerful, but make it strong enough that I could just latch onto a gun and then use the pulling motion of the grapple gun to pull the gun out of their hands. Or I could just eliminate the magnet entirely, I guess, and just use the grapple gun.
Yeah, I would let you do this. You can absolutely try to do this.
Okay. I'll try to do this.
Okay, absolutely. So you attach a mag clamp to the end of your grapple gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to fire it down the hall to try and grab a gun out of one of their hands.
Correct.
Okay.
Weren't these guys super strong?
We're gonna find out.
I didn't think we established that. I thought the segment tether just.
I could be wrong. I thought they augmented strength and stuff too, but I
mean, if they did, I didn't know this.
Yeah, maybe it's just something I assumed.
All right. Evelene, what kind of skill trigger are you angling for here?
Yes, exactly. Ferris Slash has been human sized. Creative engineering or
Yeah.
maybe okay.
Yeah, creative engineering is makes sense with what you're doing. This is still going to be a dangerous check, but you can use your creative engineering.
All right, here goes. 15.
You attach one of your mag clamps to the end of your grapple gun, and you quickly pop out from around the hall, fire the grapple gun to the far end. You watch as you are on target, Evelene, as your mag clamp attaches to the side of one of their guns. You yank, and it doesn't exactly pull out of their arm. They like pull it back, and like you're in this weird tug of war with them. And then you pull, and as you pull it out of your hand, you feel a horrible pain in your side as you've been shot. But you do pull one of their guns into the hallway, like on a fishing line. You duck back around the hallway, and as you pull the thing in, you look down at your side that is bleeding a little bit. That is going to be 2 pilot damage.
Okay.
You took one of their guns.
I did.
You still have 3 armed tethered in there. And then a guy who's not armed.
Just a guy.
For a moment. Maybe. We'll see.
There's probably other guns in there. If you guys can buy me some time, I could try to shoot an explosive at them. If we assume the heavy signature is like a little bit of an explosive kind of launcher, like we've talked about. It's like a loading ordnance weapon.
All right.
It doesn't have area on it, but neither does the grenade, and we know that's air. I like it, so I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
All right. In that case, I will try to bide him some time and just give. I'm going to be firing down. I'm going to be trying to buy him as much time as possible. Stay cool is the best, but I don't want to keep on just using it.
I get you. What I'm going to say is staying cool in this ever-increasing situation, Orion, will now be with difficulty if you stay cool.
Yeah. Let's see here. In that case, because CHIMERA just yanked a gun out of a guy's hand, I assume that they got a little bit distracted. I'm going to use Spot to try and get the one who was most distracted by a gun being yanked out of their hand that still is armed, and fire at that person specifically.
Okay. Yeah, find an opening. Yeah, this is going to be a dangerous check, Orion. Yeah. What I will say is you can choose one of 2 things. You can either hope to succeed, and if you succeed, this will take out one of the attackers.
Yep.
Or you can choose to do this primarily to make an opening for Steve, in which case what the check is for would then be for giving accuracy to Steve.
I'm going to aim to give accuracy to Steve because he asked for covering fire so he could launch an explosive, and that seems like the most effective solution.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that then.
Okay. Aha, I passed the spot check with a 13, finally.
You did pass the spot check, but this is still a dangerous check.
That's fine.
You find the one who's most distracted. You fire a few shots off. You think you've clipped him, but in response, you get clipped yourself for another 2 pilot damage.
2 down to 1.
Kestrel, you see your moment. There is an opening here.
I go for it.
All right, what do we see?
Assault or stay cool, they're both +2, so,
this seems like assault to me. Yeah.
Accuracy, right?
Yeah, with accuracy.
16.
Steve, you get out into the hallway and you plant and you pull up your heavy weapon. You get it locked on target and You hear the tone. That means you have a firing solution. You pull the trigger and away it goes. But you are clipped in response.
Sure.
Luckily, you are wearing the heavy hard suit. So the 2 damage it does to you is completely blocked, but it throws you to the ground.
Sure.
But you hear a satisfying explosion in the distance and no more bullets afterwards.
I just
There's
lay on the ground for a second and sigh.
There is a quiet that kind of settles over the field, along with smoke settling over the field.
And then at that moment, I'll go, "Are you almost ready, Astro? We're just getting into the security room."
Astro's like, "I'll be ready when you are. I just need you to get into their security system so you can authorize my request to open the door."
All right. Well, let's charge on into the room and see what else is in there. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Someone help me
Let's
up.
go.
Moving around like a turtle.
Hey,
We'll help you up.
Can't get up.
I'll help Steve up.
All right. The 3 of you enter the room, and it is the site of a massacre. 2 of them. One that was started before you got here, and then one you finished when you arrived. There is a score of dead in similar clothing to the people who were in the last room with you. People wearing coveralls, people who have like trainee badges and stuff like that, just dead all over the floor. Blood covering the ground. And then the tethered, who are also now blackened, broken in pieces on the ground. The biggest difference you see in this room is where there are 6, 7, 8 panels on the wall that have rotated out, that all have what appear to be large tubes in the wall, large enough for a single person to fit inside.
Yeah, that's where the segmentation tether pods are, I guess.
The people who went downstairs back on the planet, was that Dyne and Steve?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep, those guys.
The 2 of you note that these appear to be version 0.2 is what's on the side of the tanks.
And we had 0.1 before or something?
That's what you encountered down on the planet, were 0.1s.
Yeah.
Now, that's not segmentation tether completely. What I will say is, based on that information alone, that this is that extra tech that you found out about while you were down there, which is the Symphonic Doll program.
Mm-hmm.
This is Symphonic Doll program 0.02.
Are they open? Are they what we just
They
fought?
are all open and empty.
Okay.
But thinking about it, were these same panels on the wall back where Astro was? You think they were.
Oh, shit.
They aren't turned around, but they were there.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Astro,
Call
let's go
Astro.
back to your side of the team now. Astro,
Everything's fine here.
you start to go into the security system to find what you need to activate the door on your end. And you find a couple of disturbing things. One is you realize something that you weren't really told and you didn't really know to tell your friends before they left. But when the 2 security stations activate their open procedure, it splits the station in half at the same time. You will not be able to reach each other once that door is open. You will be locked on your side and they will be locked on their side, and you both enter the central area from slightly separate directions.
Okay.
So it is still a single access point, but the point that opens is separated from either side. So it's like a single way in, but you will have a different one than they will have.
Right.
So if you guys decide to activate it while you're split up like this, you will be alone, Astro, and then the other 3 will be together.
Okay.
Second, as you're trying to piece through how to do things, you stumble on a weird symbol that pops up on the screen as you're trying to, make sure it's okay. Well, I need to be able to contact him over there. And okay, here's where I unlock the door. And then a small globe appears on your screen that rotates. And as the globe rotates, there are continents and nations and land masses on the globe that change as it rotates. It's never the same. What do you do?
It's the one I've seen before.
It is the one you saw in cyberspace.
Can I deactivate it?
You can try.
I will try to.
I'm going to need a dangerous hacker fix from you, COMET. This is going to also be a difficult check because it is keyed to only unlock for a specific person.
Okay. Do I know what person that would be, or just that it's...
Yeah, you do a little research, and it seems like it is keyed specifically to a person named Geospatial Spin.
Geospatial Spin. Okay. All right, let's roll it up. Wow, with inaccuracy, I got a 22.
With
that was a good roll.
With difficulty on a dangerous check, you got a 22. You rolled an 18
I'm just that good.
Plus a 6 minus 2 for 22. And Astro,
yeah, none of us will believe you.
This little globe.
No one was here to see it.
This little globe spinning on your screen. You watch. It activates because that's the only way you can deactivate it. You realize there's no way in that's not through. You quickly activate it and you out hack the hacker. The person who set this up set it up to activate systems at a certain speed as soon as it triggered, and you're able to deactivate it faster. You cut it off at the pass, and you're able to see what it was trying to do as you deactivate it. It was going to activate a dead man switch security system. There is some sort of security measure in the room you're in right now meant to kill everyone inside and hold the room against anyone who dare enter. You don't know what it is, but that's what it's supposed to do.
I mean, I know what it is from listening to what you guys just went through, but Astro doesn't.
It's kind of like we're like, oh shit, Astro. Flash over to Astro. Well, anyways, that's not a problem anymore now, is it?
I'm not complaining.
But how far away are these? Because like I could see myself being like, you guys finish up here, I'm gonna run to Astro.
I would say that at a run, probably like 10 minutes. Nah, that's too long. 5 minutes.
Would
you could run there in 5 minutes.
Or like, would that seem like that's wasting time if I did that?
Don't we have radio communication?
I would be radioing you on the way there too, because I don't know when or if they're going to activate. I don't know if you even unactivated that out of game.
I mean, let's play it out. So, like, what would you tell me?
There was a bunch of those attack clones or whatever they had on the planet that I told you about in the other room, and I think they're in there.
Oh, so can I assume this happens after I deactivated the thing?
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, Astro's like, oh, that makes so much sense now. The people in the walls. They must have them back here. I start looking around.
You now knowing what you're looking for can see where there are panels built into the wall that very obviously could flip around.
I said, I'll say, yeah, there is some sort of failsafe that I deactivated some sort of security measure that would have activated in my security office that I'm in. It would have killed everyone. I wasn't sure what it was, but now that you said that, there must be more of those segmented people just behind these panels. He looks at them and gives a little shudder. Ooh. So that's what happened to yours?
Yeah, we took him out, but do you want me to come meet up with you?
It might be good to have another person here, because once we open up the door, we're going to be disconnected from each other until we get through into the central citadel.
Yeah.
So I'll be on my own. It might be good if we're split up. It might be good to have two people on each side.
I guess I'm not part of this conversation.
I mean, it depends. Did Steve have this conversation over like your group communications?
If we have that, yeah.
Yeah, then I mean, you would hear it. It's the same way that you hear each other inside your mechs. Like it would be across the group.
Okay. Then I guess Chimera should at least stay on one end, because
Kind of need to, yeah.
yeah. I guess I'll stay with Chimera if you want to head over to Astro. That way we can divvy up the forces.
I will note that the parts of the center citadel that you seem to be gaining access to from these 2 points, the part that is Astro right now, and possibly Steve, if he goes to join up with him, seems to go to the command areas of the station, and the one where Evelene and Dyne currently are seem to go into the engineering level of the central citadel.
Once we're in the central citadel, though, do we think we should be able to meet back up, even if we're in different parts?
If you work your way through the security systems that separate those places from each other.
Okay.
You do know that once you're inside, there are a lot of quote unquote interesting things in the central citadel. There are things like that you see outlined on your map, like the logistics data room, the captain's quarters, the main energy intake room, the reactor. Like there's a bunch of quote unquote, like the named areas of the space station are all inside the citadel.
Yeah.
And you will be closer to different things depending on where you enter from. And you know that these things are separated from each other. You could absolutely fight through them to get back together, but that would be time you're spending doing that rather than exploring those things.
Okay.
Which is absolutely a safe thing to do. You could go that route if you want to.
Okay, just curious. So not only are we split on this end, but we'll be split when we go through.
The place you arrive inside will be slightly different than each other.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't care how you split yourselves up. All I know is one person needs to be in one security center and one person needs to be in the other one to open the doors. You could do 2 and 2, 3 and 1, however you guys want to set it up. But this will unfortunately mean that you're creating 2 groups in one way or another.
So
okay.
I guess I'll head back with Astro then? Or do you guys want me over here so that, like...
Astro would say, I wouldn't mind having a friend over here. Whoever that is, it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll go with Astro then.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Then Steve, you book it back to Astro's control station. You do eye kind of warily the panels on the wall that contain hidden attackers that just haven't been activated yet. But you are both in position. You can open the way into the center of the station now.
Okay, I'll radio Evelene. All right, you ready?
Yep, ready, boss.
Okay, let's do it. And I start the procedure.
Ditto. I press the buttons and things happen.
All right. As you do that from both sides, you can actually from the security rooms kind of feel part of the station reconfiguring itself in the space between these two areas. It's almost like pathways are being created on both sides that head deeper into the station. In the same time, this kind of like cuts off that route from one sector to another. But you do know there are now 2 routes into the center.
All right, we did it. Let's go on further. See what we're dealing with.
It's just like a casino.
I
It's
mean,
just like Vegas and space station platform.
Oh, I hope not, because I still have
It's a
stuck in my
golden
head.
saucer.
I still have stuck in my head the what is it, Leviathan Wakes or something like that. It's a space casino where all the bad shit happens,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like all the people get turned into goo space monsters.
Space zombies.
Yeah. All right, well, let's hope that doesn't happen to you all. Anyway,
Yeah.
you all are easily able to move your way forward as you approach the Central Citadel now that the space has been unlocked. You don't know what awaits you inside yet, except for the fact that there are importantly named zones ahead. Evelene and Dyne, you approach closer to the engineering sector, and Dyne and not Dyne, Steve and Astro, you approach near the command deck area of the space station. You move forward, and as you pass what was once the barrier between the inside and the outside, you can feel a change in the very structure of the place. It feels more like you're in a military base than it feels like you're on a space station. The walls almost feel denser. It feels like you're walking in a more tight area. You don't know why it even feels more oppressive in here. It's like the pressure in the area feels like it's almost pushing down a little bit, like the gravity is higher in here or something. But you move your ways deeper into the station. What you find as you do so is something we will explore next time, though.
aw.
Alrighty.
Ba 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 ba.
It could still be a casino, I'm just saying.
You gotta try to
Hold
change it.
out
We've
hope.
not ruled it out.
And it could have that Astro Dracula slot machine.
Oh, heck yeah.
That has to come back. It really does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. As they reach the end of their infiltration into this station, what will they find? Join us next time to find out. We'll see y'all then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.